I'm going to start by reading you guys this fabulous introduction because I can't word it any better myself. Let me catch my breath. So many buttons to press so early in the morning. Hello everyone. Good morning and welcome to this live. Alrighty then. The Creative Wizard presents the Sacred Artist Initiation. Awaken your creative power through art, ritual, and sacred practice. There comes a moment in every artist's life when creativity stops being a hobby and becomes the path to awakening. The quiet inner core begins to stir, the realization that art is not only something we make, but something that transforms us. Every brushstroke becomes a reflection of the soul. Every color carries emotion, memory, and intention. Creation becomes ritual. The Sacred Artist Initiation is a 47-day seasonal journey of creative awakening through art, ritual, and sacred practice. In this immersive experience, you will explore the 7 energy centers of the body through guided meditation, intuitive painting, reflective journaling, and the crafting of personal ritual tools. We will be working with watercolor in your art journal and acrylic on canvas. And each week, we will open a new gateway of awareness, inviting you to reconnect with your creativity, your intuition, and your deeper sense of purpose. This initiation is not about creating the perfect artwork. It is about becoming the artist of your own inner landscape. Through sacred prompts, weekly mentorship circles, and a supportive creative community, you will be guided to slow down, listen inwardly, and allow your artistic practice to become a space for healing, exploration, healing, and personal power. Over these next 47 days, you will not simply make art, you will awaken the sacred artist within you. This is absolutely beautiful. I can't wait to begin this journey. And here we are. I've been working so hard on creating this amazing Sacred Artist Initiation series on my Wizard's Apprentice tier. It is just absolutely phenomenal. Over the last 8 years, I've been working towards this goal to create a beautiful community and a sacred place where artists like yourself can come and be inspired to begin a creative practice. And through that creative practice, to begin to awaken, to realize who you are, to recognize your values, to remember your purpose, and to use your art as the foundation for your life. Because it is here where we remember that we are the artists of our lives, right? That is just so absolutely beautiful. So even though we're sitting here in cosplay, even though I'm playing with the theme of the magical wizard, within me I recognize that I am a magical being. And through the creative act of putting on a costume, I give myself permission to play. And through that play, I sort of strip away all of the layers of adult judgment and limiting beliefs and ideas that this is all imaginary and that is real. Because that is the way we've been programmed since childhood, right? So the minute when we take that role of I am a responsible adult, we just put that aside for a minute and we step into the childlike innocence and curiosity again. And we begin to play. What happens is our intuition that is connected with our higher self begins to cipher down messages through symbolic language in our art. And all of a sudden, we become aware of wisdom, insight that is liberating in our lives, that can empower our lives, especially when you become aware of patterns of behavior, of habit, of choice that is not necessarily in alignment with your life goals, that is not necessarily supporting you on your life journey towards the goals that you set for your life. So many people in the world still believe today that life is happening to them. And this entire process is to remind you no, no, no. Life is happening through you. You are the artist of your life. And everything that flows into your life, every event, every person that you meet, is there as a reflection, a mirror of your thinking, a mirror of your beliefs, a mirror of your creation power, a mirror of your imagination, and all of your inner constructs of belief and programming. So it is through our beautiful creative art practice that we become aware of that superficial stuff that we ascribe and assign so much power and authority to in our lives, right? It is time to liberate ourselves. The soul on the planet wants to awaken and wants to remember while in our bodies that we are a spark of the divine. We are made of the same stuff as the universe. Our world functions on a microcosmic level exactly the same as it does on a macrocosmic level. So it's really just interesting to see that everything is a mirror of everything else. There is nothing hidden or secret. It is just that we don't always see it for what it really is. Because unfortunately, through our perception and our belief systems, we assign meaning. And the minute we do that, it becomes the experience that we are having. So if you don't like where life is leading you, if you don't like the experience that you're currently sitting in, I know that it can be tough to hear from the beginning that you are the beginning and the end of it all. Because so many bad things happen to good people out there. And I'm not here to convince you of anything, but I am here as a guide to just simply bring you to a space where your art can begin to communicate with you. Your art can begin to share with you and give you a space where you can process, where you can um, regulate your emotions, where you can support yourself and begin to heal and take your power back from every little circumstance where you gave your power away, one brushstroke at a time. And this is really going to be a lot of fun. So, what is the Sacred Artist Initiation? For me, it was a series that I created, and it was absolutely, the whole point for me was to give you a container every season of the year. So overhanging is the winter season that we are entering today. And here in the southern hemisphere, we are beginning with our winter period. In the northern hemisphere, you guys are beginning with your spring kind of season. So it doesn't really matter where you are over the world and what season we are dealing with, because they all support one another. It stays a container on our planet, and it is in the seasons where life began. Because if a planet does not have seasons, it cannot be life. We need the seasons in order to regulate the flow of air and all of the elements that are on the planet so that they can become useful for us so that life can begin to thrive. Isn't that interesting? So, this whole journey that we are starting today is going to be inspired by winter. And for me, this is a season of inward growth and of strengthening our root system, grounding ourselves deep into Mother Earth. This is a period that we can use to really process grief. We can process so many things and really send it all through the root system of our beautiful energetic body, our Garden of Eden, into Mother Earth and really ground ourselves and give to the planet everything that we find hard and difficult and emotional and traumatic. Release that every day through beautiful crafting and breath and creation. And when we come to the end of this season, we will begin to prepare to bloom again in the season of spring that is following the winter. Isn't that beautiful? All right. So the winter season is officially starting today, and I'm going to be sharing with you every week. And I thought I would just share with you sort of what this 47-day program is going to look like. So don't be scared when you think or when you hear 7 weeks. 47 days. It is a lot of commitment to make. So I want to just assure you from the beginning that I didn't create stuff that's going to keep you busy for 47 days non-stop. And I don't want to add to the feeling that you're falling behind with projects, because I know life is busy for most of us already. So I'm also being kind to myself because I am running this beautiful creative container for my patrons, and it is absolutely my purpose and joy in life. But at the same time, I'm also still working full time. So in between all of my life responsibilities, I show up as your creative wizard. So if I could do this 47-day process, then I know that any busy person like you can also do it. So what I'm really doing is I'm giving you uh, a creative prompt for the day. And that prompt you can then apply in a way that you find time for and see fit. So, one of the rituals that we will do every week is we're going to do a watercolor ritual in our art journal. And I'm going to be paging through my art journal now and show you exactly what that looks like. So, we're going to need watercolor supplies, any watercolor supplies. It doesn't have to be what I have. You can really just grab your kids' watercolor set, or if you have watercolor, wonderful. Now, I would encourage you to get an art journal. I got this one off Timu. Just make sure that it's a creative or an artist sketch journal. It must say it is watercolor safe. This is 160-gram watercolor paper. So it's not the thickest cardstock or paper, but as you can see, it does handle watercolor beautifully, especially in the way that we are going to be using it. Now, if you are not an art journal or grimoire person, even though I want to encourage you through this process to give it a try, you can always just use ordinary watercolor paper, the best that you can afford, and you need basically an A5 size or an A4 size. It's really all up to you. How much time do you have, and how much energy do you want to spend in this? Okay. And then when the watercolor ritual is finished, that is a whole day on its own, and it really only have to take 10 to 15 minutes. Then on the next day, I'm going to give you an acrylic painting prompt. And for those prompts, I like to work on these boards. And I do like to work on these boards simply because it folds really beautifully and everyone can see what I'm doing. But here again, it's all up to you. What size would you like to use for your acrylic ritual? I really want you to tune into your own guidance and intuition. If you want to paint big, go big. Just remember, the bigger your canvas, the more time it is going to take. And if you're a really busy patron, if you have a hectic schedule, then painting big is not the solution for you right now. Then I would encourage you to paint smaller. The smaller your paper or your board or your canvas, the more guaranteed you are that you're going to finish that project and stay on course with us. I don't want you to fall behind. But here's the thing. I really give you two painting rituals a week. The watercolor you can do in the moment. Watercolor is very immediate and present. And it's not complicated. The acrylic painting ritual can take a day, it can take an hour, or it can take a few days. Now, after I do the acrylic ritual in our program for the week, you will see that you have 4 days basically before the next energetic week begins. So during that 4 days, if you're painting bigger and it falls sort of over the weekend, you will have time to paint and complete your painting. So I want you to make wise choices with your acrylic painting rituals as to the size. And I've used here a 20 centimeter by 20 centimeter painting board covered in canvas. And with each of these videos, I show you exactly what you need, what I did, and hopefully it will inspire you to do something that comes up in your spirit. So again, the painting here is not always objective. We don't paint something specific. I give you a beautiful energetic prompt and you learn to play with the mediums that we are working in. And this is an example of a beautiful experimental process. I used spray paint, I used stencils, I used oil pastel, I played with salt. All kinds of elements came together on this painting board. And in doing so, by following your prompt, then you create beautiful amulets like this that are emitting beautiful, positive, vibrant energy in your life. And I'm so excited to share that with you guys, right? Okay, so let me work through my energetic program for the week and just give you guys an idea of what to expect. So every week, we are going to be dealing with one of our gateways or energy centers of our own Garden of Eden. Remember this winter season, the overhanging theme is to paint your inner landscape, whatever that may look like, your inner dream world, really. So, in the first week, we are going to be doing the red gate to the Garden of Eden. And you will see every week as I release the episodes every day for the next 47 days. Early in the morning, your video will arrive in your email, and I will just tell you a little bit more about that. And then you can go ahead and watch that video. So, for the first thing for the week will be a beautiful guided meditation. Now, I've shared this with you guys already. Some of you have already gone through the beautiful meditation sort of series just to experience that on itself. But now the art becomes locked in with it, and we start to explore our own creative world on the canvas and on paper with the inspiration of that guided meditation and the color for the week. So that's going to be exciting. So the first week, we're going to start with the red gate to your Garden of Eden. We're looking at everything that grounds us in our life. We're looking at the sort of color of red, the frequency of red, and what that all communicates. And what I've done is I have basically worked in a beautiful energetic assessment that goes along with your watercolor ritual. Because the watercolor ritual is not so complex, it can take you 10 minutes. This literally took me 10 minutes before work that I painted the red gate of my Garden of Eden. And the energetic assessment is part of your PDF workbook, which I will talk about just now a little bit more. And there are a number of questions that I pose for you, ways to just assess your own energy in relation to this particular energy center and frequency of your life. So we're going through each layer of our beautiful energetic body, and we are assessing our activity in that beautiful energy center. Is it grounded? Is it flowing? Is it aligned? And is it helping you moving towards the dreams of your life? Okay, so this was really my red gate watercolor ritual in my beautiful grimoire. That is part of the grimoire that I'm using for Grimoire Sunday and for all of my sort of beautiful spell work and things that I do to just really build my own faith and spirituality, right? So you don't have to write everything out like I did, but I would encourage you to write it out in your journal because there's something magical that happens when we journal. Because when we start to write, you give the left brain something to do that it knows and understands and wants to take charge of. Because the left brain was taught how to write, how to read, how to reason, right? But our right brain is where we connect with our beautiful soul and our spirituality. That is everything to do with our senses, what we smell, what we see, what we hear, what we feel, what we taste, what we experience, right? So that's all of our senses in our body. But we also have spiritual senses. And I want to begin to activate and really train them so that it becomes a beautiful tool for you to trust and to use because we've been taught that if you can't touch it, if you can't smell it, if you can't hear it, if you can't see it, then it's not real. And that is not the truth. Everything in life is not just physical. Um, we a good example is microwaves. Microwaves can cook your food. You can't see it, but there it is. Almost every home in the world has a microwave. Um, Radio waves. We turn on a radio and we're able to hear what somebody's saying on the other side of the planet. We can't see the radio waves, but yet we can hear it when we have the tool to tune into it. So there are so many examples in our world of things that we can't see, things that we can't touch or taste. But it doesn't mean that it's not real, right? That is the essence of magic. It is science not yet explained. And yet, so many things that we talk about as magical have now been proven by science to be actual, very real. So I'm not here to convince you again either way of having a certain belief or understanding about things like science. But I am here as a guide to remind you that you are not just a physical being. You are a soul having a physical experience. And that's why you are here. The whole point of life is to experience, to play, and to create. So every week I will do a watercolor ritual with you guys. Some days I go over both pages, other times I just do on the one side. I really enjoy this, so I give myself a little bit more freedom to express myself in that color and to really lean into the prompt and to see where that takes me. I put on beautiful music for myself. I light a candle, maybe some incense, create some sacred space for yourself so that you can really lean into the moment and become present with it and play with your watercolor and enjoy that. So that's what we are going to be doing in our beautiful art journals. So write out these energetic prompts onto the questions that I share with that. Every week you're going to basically assess your energy in that frequency, and then I'm giving you some journal prompts to really go a bit deeper. And what I'd like for you to do is to do some automatic writing. And really what that is I state a question, and then I want you to take a pen and I want you to begin to write. Whatever that question brought up for you, wherever you want to start, just write and see where this sort of chain of thought and the prompt leads you. Where does it take you? And sort of keep writing until you feel empty, until you feel you've said everything that came up for you from the prompt in your art journal. And then leave that be for a minute, because a few days later I ask you again to share. Now, on our Patreon app, I do have a beautiful private chat group for the Apprentice tier. Only the Apprentice tier has access to it. So I really want people there that is busy with this work and that is committed and involved. I really want to encourage you to share there with me and share some of your thoughts in that private chat. And then we also have the Facebook group. There is a link beneath this video. Please join us over there, because that is where I want to encourage you to share photographs of your progress art and of your finished art. And I will share with you just now why I think that is so important. So you can see that really in a week you do 2 paintings, a quick watercolor and then an acrylic tutorial. So you will need both acrylics and watercolor for this beautiful journey. All right. Let me just see where I am here. So we're going to have 47 days starting from today. So come to the Patreon app every day. Watch out for your emails, because you will be getting a video every single day for the next 47 days that relates to this amazing season. Now, again, no rush. You can do this in your own time. But I do want to talk about the beautiful certificate that comes with every season. So I did share in the email this morning or yesterday afternoon that there's a beautiful certificate for every season. And I'm only going to give that certificate to participants that is finished and participated and completed every season. So that's going to be something to collect and to hold on to. It's something to work towards as recognition for the effort that you are putting in order to qualify for this beautiful certificate that you will be able to download and print out, just enjoy. You need to submit at least one watercolor ritual, one acrylic ritual, and I need to be able to see some progress photos of you on the Facebook group in order to see that you are participating and that you are creating actively, okay? So I need to see at least one watercolor, one acrylic, and one ritual tool, because we also have a beautiful crafting section, which I'm going to get to now, okay? If I see one of each of these over the next 7 weeks under your name, I will consider that you have participated and created, and you have gone through the whole energetic container with me. And then I will issue you a beautiful certificate at our graduating ceremony live, which will be on day 47. Right? Okay. So 47 days starting today. We are looking at weekly meditations. That's just going to be fun to plug into and enjoy. Watercolor rituals is the way that you're going to start your week with art journaling. Then the next day, you're going to receive a beautiful video demonstration and prompts for your acrylic rituals. And that you have a few days to play with. And part of that is a reflection, an energetic assessment, and some journaling. And again, it doesn't have to be a book. It can be a sentence. It can be a paragraph of reflection. Right. Then we get into the third practical aspect of the week, and that is crafting, creating sacred ritual tools. And we are taking creativity to a practical arena where you can begin to use things like these beautiful herb bundles that we made in one of our beautiful episodes. So playing with your candle, anointing a candle, making herb bundles, how to use smudging, all of those things become part of this sacred creative crafting of ritual tools. And then the next day, I think it's usually on a Thursday, we will have a live mentoring circle here on Patreon like this live today. I'm going to be sharing with you. I will bring the camera a little bit closer and I can see on my screen the chat. So do say hi to me, tell me where you're watching this from, and you can share with me what you are experiencing and I will add to that so you can be part of the conversation, right? So that beautiful mentoring circle is going to touch on subject issues that relates to all of the beautiful creative rituals that happened the few days before that. And then on a Friday, now you have time until Monday again to really work on any of these projects that you might still want to tweak or didn't get time to do to wrap things up. So on a Friday, I want you to take a photograph of your art, doesn't matter if it's finished or not, and share it with us on the Facebook group, The Creative Art, right? And just tell me a little bit more about where you are now. Don't just dump a photo and run away. Please don't be shy. All the people in our creative art group are patrons or creative coaches or people that's on the creative journey with me. So there are beginners, there are qualified artists and psychologists and all kinds of people on the group from all walks of life. But we have one thing in common, our creative heart, and we recognize the sacredness and the power and impact of our art and our creative practice. So it's a safe space. It's a private group on Facebook. So none of what you share there can be shared outside to the group, so it is safe for you to be there. I do have a strong presence there myself, and I will mentor. There are mentors in the group as well, and there's always somebody to give you a helping hand if you get stuck. So share your art with me there. Tell me, this is week 3. This is my watercolor ritual for that week. And this is what I got out of it. And then share it with me there. So that's one way that I can then mentor and check and see, okay, everyone that is in our beautiful journey is participating and sharing their art so that I can certify you at the end of this beautiful, energetic, creative container. Okay? Then I think it is on a Saturday. I want to encourage you to join us on the chat on Patreon. And the sort of standard question there, and you will see in the energetic workbook, is basically to reflect on what you become aware of in yourself during that week, sort of relating to that particular gateway in your life. So on the Patreon chat, again, that's just Wizard's Apprentice participants that's active in this particular season. So it's very private. Our season at this stage only will have 7 people in it. So it's a very closed, small circle. Please share with me there on the chat at any time during the Saturday or Sunday what you become aware of, so that I can also begin to get to know your names and we can begin to form a relationship and share with one another, trust one another, and support one another on this beautiful journey, right? Okay. Then the sharing of your photographs and of your journaling work really is a way for you to stay accountable and present over the next 7 weeks. I know 7 weeks sounds long, but it flies like that, okay? So I'm asking you in the beginning to set some intention and to focus on your goals, and I want to be able to just be there for you throughout this process. So sharing your progress or sharing your journal prompts, sharing your awareness with me is a way to show me that you are participating, that you are present, and that I can look forward to giving you this beautiful certificate. It's a bit humid here this morning. Right. Let me just check in here. So with every video that I share every day over the next 47 days, I will tell you in the description of the video what it is that you need in order to participate. But the sort of art mediums is pretty much standard throughout the series. You'll need watercolor for the watercolor ritual and acrylic paints for the acrylic ritual. And that is going to be a lot of fun to play with. So if I use something that you don't have, it's not about copying what I did, rather than seeing what is possible and then being inspired by what I do on my video and then going and enjoying and doing your own thing. So it's really opening you up to discover and explore your own style of painting. What comes up to you when I give you a little bit more of an abstract prompt in order to create with? Where does your spirit take you? And what comes up for you? How do you express yourself there? Because for some of us, it might be easy to copy and to recreate what somebody is demonstrating. And that's a great way to start. I started like that, and I encourage you to try it as well. But the minute you give yourself permission to go beyond that and say, okay, I'm just going to use the prompt and I'm just going to see what's going to come up for me, amazing things begin to happen. Because now you are learning to trust yourself with a creative process. Doesn't matter what the end result looks like. What is it trying to tell you? And what awareness that you gain through that experience of self expression without limitations. So the boundaries that I give within each week is just enough to make you feel safe. You sort of know what you're going to aim for, what you're going to use, but what it is that you're going to create is going to depend on the moment's magic. And that is truly magical. So, for example, during the red light of our beautiful Garden of Eden, I did do the prompt, and it was all about being grounded, making certain marks. The prompt is very clear about what you sort of need to do with a watercolor and how to integrate this experience. And this is what I came up with. And when I started it, this is not what I thought I was going to be painting, to be very honest with you. But this is what ended up coming forward for me. And it meant a lot to me because all of these symbolism means something to me. It communicates something to me. And that was a beautiful awareness that came out of that. And the same goes for every week's prompt afterwards. So you can see it's not really very particular things that I'm painting, but rather an expression. In watercolor, it becomes really easy because I really want you to work quite wet. You can see how some of the colors is played. That's okay. It's all part of the fun. There's nothing perfect about this. So I don't want you to feel under pressure to create perfect art that is going to be marked and assessed. That's not what we're here for. This is not a traditional art class. This is personal growth, transformation, awareness, and spiritual awakening through our art. That is what we are doing. And even in the acrylic rituals, you can see it's quite symbolic. I taught you guys how to create your own ritual sigil during the acrylic rituals for this week. So that's going to be a very interesting video. And then I started to really paint my inner landscape. Now, you don't have to do a landscape. The prompt was very abstract, but this is what I ended up painting for my orange gate. A beautiful sunset and juicy, warm orange colors. And then I decided to take that a step further when we moved into the yellow gate. Now, during this episode, I do give you a full landscape tutorial in a very free painting style. So every season will contain fantastic tutorials in acrylics and in watercolor. And I think for this season, this is going to be the most realistic kind of painting that you'll be doing. And again, you can pick a photograph of your own choosing. This is just the one that I chose to do the demonstration with. And the reason why I say this is my golden gate is this beautiful golden sand on this beautiful beach in my own inner landscape. This is my fantasy environment I wish I could live in. And hopefully one day before the end of this lifetime, I will be able to call an environment like this my own. Who knows? If not in this lifetime, then certainly in the next. Then in the throat chakra or the blue gate of our beautiful Garden of Eden, I show you guys how to do a multimedia acrylic installation. Very abstract, but here we've got fantastic thick textures and a multitude of layers that is coming together. Sorry, I forget this camera isn't turned on, so let me show you guys like that. So that is going to be such a fun painting. I'm still in production, so I'm still to the last week of this beautiful season. But today is launch day, so I'll show you what I've done already. And this was my acrylic painting, what we call this ritual for the third eye or the indigo gate of the Garden of Eden. Look at those beautiful metallics. And we painted a hamsa, which is a fantastic symbol of blessing, protection, and abundance, depending on the point that the hand is pointing at. So I'll share with you guys all about that during that acrylic ritual, right? So that is going to be so exciting. Now, the last thing, well, I think it's the last thing. I'm going to talk about the course book. I'm going to be sharing on Patreon with you guys a PDF workbook that you can download, and then you'll be able to have a checklist because every day it's got a little checkbox next to it that you can check. And you can see, okay, I'm making progress, which is always very supportive during a season like this to know where am I, what have I done, what haven't I done yet. So I need you guys to really work through that workbook and check that all so that you know you've watched that video, you have done that prompt, and you've taken a photograph, you've shared it with me. That way I can also keep track of your participation. And that will lead us to the final episode, which is also going to be a live mentoring circle on day 47 or 48. I'm not entirely sure. but it is on our beautiful schedule that I've also shared on an email, I think, yesterday. So if any of this is like confusing to you, or if you don't understand, please just direct message me or drop a comment below this video. I'll be happy to answer you, but it will become pretty much clear as we go. Just follow the daily prompt that will arrive in your email box because you have subscribed to this tier and you have said that you want to do this journey with me. So this is, like I said before, very limited offering at this stage. I only have 7 seats, and I'm excited to see who of you are going to be joining me. And I will keep those 7 seats over the coming seasons until they're all filled. And I see there is a request for more seats to be opened. Then I will open it to the number that is required at that stage. But I think I want to keep it small and intimate and available and accessible for the people that are ready to go on this beautiful inward soul journey through their art. So look out for that PDF workbook that is going to be helping you just to stay on track. And then again, like I say, make sure you join my Facebook group. The link is in the description of this video. And join us there because it's a beautiful space where we just share. There's also daily prompts that I share on that group that relates every day to one of these beautiful guides. So you can continue to plug in with yourself. But don't just share in your head. Please do type, hello, I'm here, and this is what I'm feeling, and this is what I'm experiencing. Over to you. That is the sharing that I would like you guys to get into because there are many days and weeks on my groups and in my chats where it feels like I'm just talking to myself. So and then people say, no, but I saw the post. But I don't know that you saw the post. Why didn't you say hello to me? Like the post and maybe just engage with it. And I know sometimes we read a question or a prompt and you start thinking of it and you think, okay, I'm busy now, I'll come back to this and I'll just, and then all of that is just happening mentally. I would really appreciate it for a sharing kind of relationship. This is how this energetic container works. I give, you receive. You give, I receive. And that's how we nourish each other. That is how we sustain each other. That is how I can support you on your journey of growth. And through your sharing, you are helping me to evolve and to grow on my journey. Isn't that beautiful? So please come to the party and let's share with one another. I'm so curious to get to know you, and I'm sure that you want to get to know me a little bit better, but that can only happen in sharing because I can't read your mind yet. I just had to play with that. Alrighty then. So I think that is pretty much what I needed to discuss on this amazing launch day of this winter season. And I'm so excited because the whole production that has gone into this beautiful energetic container is very special. Please use earphones when you listen to my videos. Um, it will work fine if you watch it on a big screen. I mean, you'll be hearing me clearly. But what my intention is with these videos, and actually all of my videos, is really for you to feel like you're in my art studio with me. It's like a one-on-one experience. The world drops away and it's you and me. And the magical moment for me happens in my visual art sharing with you through the video. That is art all on its own. The editing takes hours. And I spend many, many, many hours on editing in beautiful sounds and sort of audible moments that enhances what I'm saying, enhances what I want you to experience and feel, become aware of during the process. And if you've been painting with me for a minute, you know exactly how that works. I think one of my beautiful patrons that painted with me during the horse spirit guide animal art journey, because the scene is the beautiful horse running through the ocean on the beach. I used the sound of waves throughout the entire season, and everyone that painted with me said it was like going on a mental holiday. So many of my friends said, I love that. It felt to me like I was spending time on the beach painting, and you teleported me there through the audio experience. So do pop on some earphones or earpods and enjoy that moment because it suddenly gives you a moment of privacy between the two of us that you can enjoy and really go deep and inward and allow this process to transform you, to awaken you, to enlighten you, to encourage you, to rebuild your resilience and to make you aware that you can transform your life one brushstroke at a time. And that truly is your magic wand in your hands. So, dear apprentice, welcome to this winter season of the Sacred Artist Initiation with me, as your creative coach and guide. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys over the next 47 days in this special season. Right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you guys tomorrow at the canvas, and enjoy this special moment. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you watch the replay, say hello, tell me where you're watching from. And if you are in any of my other tiers, the Creative Potion tier, the Magic One tier, or the Transfiguration tier, and you're watching this live, because I decided to share this first live with my paying patrons, then I want to encourage you to upgrade today to the Apprentice tier. It is $50 a month pledge, and this is going to be a 7-week experience. So upgrade today if you are not in my Apprentice tier before it all gets taken. There's only 7 seats available, so the first 7 people that upgrade will have space to join me from today on this amazing journey. So I'm looking forward to seeing who of you will be joining me in this amazing transformational journey. And like I said, life happens to all of us. Maybe you're extremely busy, but you are curious. Then I will also encourage you to upgrade, because I know that when we plug into an energetic container like this through a commitment, then what happens is that downloads and energetic alignment and attunement happens as well. Anyway, especially, and I encourage you to at least watch the videos and go with me on the spiritual journey. You might be in a different country at the moment. You might not have art supplies with you. It's okay. I understand. Then use what you have available to you, whether it be a piece of paper and a pencil, and just use that as your creative expression and share it with me. It doesn't have to be complicated. So I would love for you to join me and come on this beautiful journey of remembrance and awakening with me. And I'm looking forward to see what every season forward is going to be offering us, and how we are going to be growing together, in not only in our art but also in our beautiful spirit. Right, so I think that is basically everything that I wanted to share with you guys today as we launch this winter season. So if you have any questions, drop the question in the comment below, like this video so that I know that you've watched it. And I will see you guys over on the Creative Art on Facebook, and I will chat with you in our beautiful private chat here on Patreon. So until tomorrow, dear apprentice, I will speak to you again then. Stay blessed, stay kind to one another, and be true to yourself. I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye for now.